Good evening, everyone. This is Lindy. Well, I have to apologize to you. I have the memory of a gnat, okay? Sometimes I turn my phone the wrong way, and I think my last video was in the wrong position, so I apologize. Again, just sometimes, now I have a list. I have to go down the list before I start doing my videos. But I wanted to talk, I'm still talking about the heat. Now, I've always used candles. I've done one other video on the candles. But what I haven't done since last year was talk about the shortening, or lard. I call it lard, okay? You call it shortening, I call it lard, that I've learned to use. So, as you can see, I use candles, but you never burn all that candle down, okay? So you've always got candle wax in the bottom. Well, I save that. And then I try to save some of the jars because they're beautiful and they can be used. And the rest of the jars I clean out and I donate to the thrift stores, and they can sell them and make a little money. I saw a few videos before even Bob Wells. There were some videos out, some people talking years ago about Crisco or lard or shortening, however you want to call it. And they were using lard as candles or for heat. Well, I could never make it work. I bought a bunch of lard, but I just couldn't make it work. I couldn't figure out how to put a wick in it. And I didn't want to use the box that it comes in, the can or the box that it comes in with. I just felt it was too dangerous. So I had all this wax. And I like shorter, you'll see shorter containers. And so I saw that Bob Wells used a tapered candles to start his, which I thought was an excellent idea. However, because I use shorter, I used birthday candles. And what I do is I mix half the lard and half the leftover candles I have that, you dig out of the jar, that it just doesn't all burn. And I use that. And it lasts 72 hours to 3 or 4 days. Honestly, 3 or 4 days. It's kind of a cheap way to do it. And the candles that I buy off season. So instead of paying $6 or $7 for a big candle, I usually pay $2 or $3. And I will stock up on them. Now I don't have to, but now I have to figure out, well, where do I buy the candle wax so I can mix it? And I'm sure it's going to be a craft store. So I can mix it with the lard. So mixing it with the lard just melts into liquid, and it puts out the flames all the time. I started just trying to use lard, just couldn't figure it out. And but by mixing the candle wax in with it, melting it all together and then letting it harden and just sticking in birthday candles, and this is one right here, then I could make it work. I don't use the larger jars very often, and when I do, I mainly just put the candle wax in there. Not necessarily the Crisco. I like the shorter ones. I just like them. So I thought I would tell you about this way to also use lard. Tapered candles, Walmart, it doesn't have any right now. I really don't trust that container. I'm just, a little cautious about that. So I just, take it out and dump it in and melt it and then put in my wax. And it works just fine. It doesn't put off as much heat as you could use, but in a car it might work. I thought I would just tell you my experience with the lard and what I do to recycle wax, to recycle jars of candles. I just keep trying to come up with ways to recycle so I can reuse things and save money. You have a great day. I'll talk to you next time. Camo.